Hello everyone, the Guiding Gamer here, and welcome back to the Guiding Gamer's Redstone guide number 2. Today we're going to be looking at adding more blocks into our arsenal. We're going to go through a few blocks and their functionality, and then at the end of the video I'm going to talk about last week's assignment and how you can fix it and complete it, and I'm going to give you a new assignment for next video. So the first block we're going to talk about today is the redstone lamp and what it does. The redstone lamp is a block that can receive weak and strong signal, meaning that it can be powered in basically any way possible. It is a full block, and when you light it up, it changes state into emitting light. The use mostly for this is to indicate if something is on. You can give it a signal, and it can also just be used to make displays and whatnot. It is mostly an indicator. Yes, the lamp can be powered from all of the sides, and yeah, that's about it. Okay, so the second block in this video is going to be transparent blocks. And more specifically, we are taking a look at a glass block, which is a transparent block. So, transparent, what does it mean in terms of redstone? It doesn't actually mean what you think it might mean. It doesn't mean that we can see through the block. Rather, it means that we can't send signal through the block. So, if I try to send a redstone signal through the glass block here, that doesn't work. And if you remember from the first video, this should be possible because this repeater will turn this block into a power source, which is now a weak power, and redstone dust can in fact take weak power. And as I just mentioned, you can weak power a redstone lamp as well. So, as a matter of fact, that should work, but it does not with transparent blocks. So what makes a block transparent? Well, there are some rules to it, some general applied rules, but as with many things in redstone, we cannot assume anything. Rule number 1 is, generally speaking, non-full blocks is a transparent block. So if I put a slab here, that does not send anything through. It's not a full block. Staircase would be the same, and generally speaking as well, is that tile entities does not count as blocks either. A full block either. But as you can see, this is a full block glass, and it's the same for this. So you might think that's a bit annoying, but it has actually some use cases here. One use case for it is that you can still place redstone on top of it, meaning that if you wanted to send some redstone just in a line through something, but it happens to interfere with something, like, let's say like this, you can actually send signal all the way to whatever you want to power, and have it being right next to something that can be weak powered, and have it not powered, because it doesn't even weak power the glass. The glass is completely invulnerable to redstone power. It has no power. So that is a use case. And another thing is, you can still send signals up like this, but you cannot send signals down like this, which is not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. You can use that quite often to make sure that current only goes in one direction, and you can do it without delay. Okay, that does it for that. Okay, so for number 3 block or tip and trick, and we're gonna talk about 3 transparent blocks that all have one thing in common, that you can make redstone towers out of them, because you can place signal on them. And what exactly do I mean by that? Well, remember from episode 1 that we could make a tower from torches, or we could send it up. Well, the thing about transparent blocks that you can place redstone on is the fact that the signal can't go down. It can go up though. And another really good thing about it is that because it's transparent, you can, strictly speaking, you can't block off redstone signal either, because remember, it's completely not affected, right? So if I show you like this, I'm just gonna show it with glass because it's a lot easier to see. This block, because it's transparent, it doesn't actually count like a full block. This redstone is able to climb up, and it's able to do that indefinitely. So if I do it for the slabs here, I can make this go up, and it's a very effective way to send redstone signal up between just 1 block and 15 blocks at a time before you have to refresh it. And I will show you that this just works. So if I flick this on, and as with everything, from now on we're going to start using lamps to show if there is power where we want power to be. And this works for all of the cases. Just gonna make the exact same thing. This is literally the same thing. It's just more visible what happens on this one because there's like a gap. But just imagine that there's the same gap with this glowstone tower. It will do basically the same. Whoops, there we go. And the thing that is that you can't send signal down. So if I were to power, you can't power those blocks either. It's a transparent block. But you can see here that the signal doesn't go down as shown in the last one. And it works the exact same for glass. So I'm not really going to mention that. Okay, that's it for this. Okay, so for block number 5, we're gonna talk about the dropper and what it does. So the dropper is a full block that can be weak powered and strong powered, and it can be powered on all of its faces, meaning that it basically works like the redstone lamp here. And what it does is that it spits out items that are inside of it. So if you right click and put in items here, and then give it a signal of any kind, it will put out 1 item every time that it receives signal. A thing that is worth mentioning is that there are 9 slots in here, and it's completely random which one it selects. So if we fill up like this, there's now a 33.3% chance that we're gonna get redstone, or a third chance, and there's 2/3 chance of getting a glowstone block, so 66.6. And if we just flick it, you can see statistics has favored us here. And if you continue, you would see there is no set order. It is completely randomized. And as it is a full block, you can send signal through it while also having it do its function, which might come in handy for some people. I don't know. You should definitely know that it can do that anyway. So if we wanted to say power both of these, we can power the first one strongly, and because it is able to be strong powered and it is a full block, it can be turned into a power source, so to speak. And we can then extend the signal into another one of them and then weak power it. And when we weak power it, it still works. So let's just fill this one up with glowstone. Let's fill this one up with redstone. It does not matter. Here we go. And then let's give it a signal here. And you can see both of them has spit them out. Okay, so the last thing is that it can also be butt powered through something called quasi-connectivity. And without getting too far into what that is, basically know that there are a few components in the game that suffer from a bug. That is that if you power them with a power signal 1 block above on any diagonal, so it could be here, that's like on a diagonal one above, or here that is just, you know, directly one above, it becomes BUD powered. What does that mean? Well, BUD, B-U-D, means block update detect, and when it is block update detect powered, it basically sort of has power, but it does not realize it yet, and you need to give it an update before it realizes that. The reason I'm telling you this isn't exactly because you need to use it as a feature. It is more so that you know that this can affect your build in a negative way, because this is one of the times where in Minecraft Redstone is that everything is logical, but don't assume stuff. If you're just building something with droppers in, you might think that this is fine to have a redstone line go like this. But the issue is that if you have an update down here, it will now shoot out, even though I didn't give it power, I just placed a block, because it sees this and thinks it has to be on. So I will just mention a way that you can fix this rather easily. Is if you are having this issue, what you can do is that you can use non-full blocks, like in an arrangement that will help you out. So like this basically. This does no longer BUD power it, because remember, not only does it not count as any power here as well, it just simply, the redstone does not affect this. So here you can now, again, another useful thing about being able to send stuff close to is you can use it to make sure that it does not interfere. It's not BUD powered. Use any normal block. It has to be one above actually. Easy. I didn't even need to do anything because it was weak powering this. And I removed the block. Alright. Does it for this. Okay, so for the last week's assignment, I told you to add 2 blocks in any combination of the 5 last ones that we had to learn about, which was a lever, redstone torch, repeater, redstone dust, and a full block. So I wanted you to make this this into a clock. If you haven't figured it out yet and you still think you can, then please pause the video, whatever, and try and make it. But I'm gonna show you a solution here. Remember that reoccurring current is what we need to happen, toggling by itself in order to make a clock. So what we can use that by is the fact that redstone torch gives power when it's on by default, but you can shut it off. So if we take the power source that it is using to shut it off, shut itself off, just by placing 1 block here and 1 redstone torch here, it will continue. One little thing is that if a torch is turned on and off too many times within the same short period, it will burn out, and it needs to be updated either by random updates or by replacing it. You can simply fix this by adding some ticks to this. Not that many though. That's one way to fix it, or to make this assignment done. Another way you could do is just simply by, if you place a block up here, this will burn out though, but that will make it a clock for a short while as well. Yep, that is how you make that work. And if you don't fully understand how this works, what happens here is that this torch is giving power to this redstone line here, which is then sent over here, which then after 2 ticks here, we power off the torch, but then now the torch is off and we can't use the power to turn itself off. So 2 ticks later, this will go back on, and it's a loop. Okay, so for the assignment for the next video, what I want you to do is I want you to create what I've created here, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to make it. You have a block with a lever on it. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks up, And extending out from the 5th one, you put a simple dropper. You just remove everything but the bottom, and you put a redstone lamp on top. What I want you to do is using only one slab, one glowstone block, one glass block, and as much redstone as you want to. I want you to send a signal up from here and up to this device. I want it to be so that when I flick the lever, or you flick the lever in your case, one item comes out of the dropper. You're allowed to put as many items in here as you want to, and the redstone lamp turns on and stays on. Okay, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button. Links are in the description, Reddit, Twitter and Facebook, and I will see you all in the next video.